World Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation presents Rise of the Titans live on pay-per-view, Friday, November 9th at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. To order, contact your pay-per-view provider.
I'll beat your ass. Yeah. I'll beat your ass. I'll beat your ass. I'll beat him on God. Talk slick, move quick.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to part 2. We're going to talk about the fight card coming up in Casper, Wyoming in November. As a fan to this show, and you listen to this show, this is my rule always as a host. So if you listen to this podcast and you're at the event, hit me up on social media. All right? My name's Lee Honish. I'm the host of this show. And just send me an instant message. I will buy you a drink. What is better than blood alcohol? I don't know what goes better together. I personally, JC, do you know what goes better together than blood and alcohol?
There's not a lot. I'm a fan of both.
It's my long-standing traditions. If I'm at the fight, you're drinking with me, and we will enjoy the fights together. I will be there in the Casper Event Center. In fact, that's what we're going to talk about. Let's talk about this fight card, JC. It's Friday, November 9th, 8 o'clock. So we're going to go for a couple of hours of just unadulterated violence, which, if you're into bare knuckle fighting, this is it, kids. It doesn't get any skippier than this. I'm going to see if I can get up close enough for a blood spray. I mean, you got to either be into this all the way, JC, or I don't see how you can do it any other way. Like, you can't just kind of tippy-toe into this kind of world.
No, and you know what? Honestly, it's called Rise of the Titans. That's the name of this thing. And I'll tell you what, these men and women are those. They are brave athletes. I mean, a lot of them have done UFC. They're former UFC champions, former Bellator stars. You know, we have them all on this card, and you know, I don't think any one of them have done bare knuckle yet. So this is a whole new venture. When you're in the UFC ring or the octagon or whatever it is, that's a different story. But this is much different, and it's not for the faint of heart. There is no doubt about that.
It's pretty straightforward. Go to WBKFF.com. Get tickets. Get signed up for the pay-per-view. Can't beat it. I'm going Gallagher style. I'm just sitting ringside. I'm looking for the splash zone. Let's talk about your. Let's start from the bottom up or the main. I mean, it's hard to say. I think everything is so wonderful here. Let's start with Neer and Aldretti. I know nothing about Mike, and I know everything about Josh Neer. So, what chance does Mike Aldretti, if I'm saying the name correctly, does he have against the proven commodity of Josh Neer?
Listen, I know that you think and you look at these guys and go, I know him, I don't know him, I have no idea. However, this is sort of the great equalizer in that it is bare knuckle boxing, and that I understand you might be good at ground and pound. I understand you might be able to kick and knock my jaw 3 inches to the left, but that doesn't matter in this whole format. So it doesn't. I mean, they're both stellar athletes. It's one hit either way, and it's going to be over in 30 seconds. So that's the best part about this is, you know, our matchmaker, Paul Tyler, has done a phenomenal job of matching people of the weight classes and going, that's going to be that's going to be a war. That's going to be a full out assault. And that's what that is too. That is one of many fights that's going to be amazing. Listen, I'm biased, but I'm looking forward to every single fight on that card.
Yeah, so am I. I didn't ask this in the previous episode, but is there what we do rounds? Do we do time limits, or is this like stand in front and throw bombs until the fight is done kind of thing? How does the timing on this thing work?
Right. It'll be 5 rounds, 2 minutes per round.
Okay. So because I'm going to pitch a fight to you at the end of this, but I'm thinking me versus Bill O'Reilly. Bare knuckle. Right? You're a promoter. This has got money on it.
Dude, this has got money all over it. I got my money on you, Lee.
I have my money on me on it. I've seen Bill.
I got money on you. O'Reilly doesn't stand a chance, although I'll give him the opportunity to get in front there with you.
I'm not sure I don't know if you can get O'Reilly. The money would have to be pretty incredible for him to want to do it. But I digress. Let's talk about some real fighters. Tell me about Christina Marks and Jasmine Clarkson.
I mean, Christina Marks, she was the 2017 Ultimate Fighter runner-up. I mean, okay, you got Jasmine Clarkson. She's a past WBF World Boxing title challenger. what more do you want from? I mean, those are two amazing women going at it. I cannot wait. That is going to be a war as well. Jasmine is amazing in her own right. Christina is a proven. I mean, she's the Ultimate Fighter runner-up. I mean, that's not an accident. It's going to be a full-out war there as well.
What I think to be by the way, I'm just giving you the pay-per-view. We have undercards as well going. We have people that are just breaking in, I'm guessing, underneath the pay-per-view card.
Yep, absolutely. And you know what? The preliminary card should be finalized and set by Monday.
Excellent. So we'll have it for the show next week. Let's talk about what I think is the co-main event. And I'm just watching this one with bated breath because maybe I want Sean Merriman. Maybe I'm just balls-ass stupid enough to want a piece of Merriman if he doesn't have a good outing against Mike Bjork. Because Mike Bjork looks like I don't even know a politically correct term way to say this. He is a big hunkin' hossa human.
That's a lot. He's got sausage links for fingers. That is a big man right there. And Sean and he will go back and forth on the social media war. And Mike Bjork just came out and basically said, "Listen, I don't know who's going to win this fight. But however, I do know that when he steps out of the ring, he's going to look like he's been in a fight." And and you know what? Sean's an elite athlete. He played football at the highest level. He's been an all-pro.
Crazy that he's doing this. It's crazy. It's balls-ass crazy. And I'll tell you why it's crazy. This is a guy who's currently doing NFL commentating real-time on Sundays. His face is, his moneymaker. And he's going in against a guy that wants to make a name for himself.
You're right. You're right. So like someone like Mike Bjork, who the world may not know as well as Sean Merriman, is going, I got nothing to lose about this. I have nothing to lose, right?
Right.
And Sean, and I will say this, Sean is not he's new to the professional ranks of fighting. However, that guy's trained in the ring for years and years and years. No one really knows, or maybe no one even cared because he was just an all-pro linebacker, which is in his own right huge. But he's not new inside the rings. He's trained for a long, long time. This is a little different training, but he's done it for a number of years. I know that.
The real co-main event, and it's an interesting one. If there was ground in this, I might have a different opinion. But Chris Lieben takes on Phil Baroni. I already know where my money would go. I'd put it on the New York Badass, Phil Baroni. He's just got heavy hands.
Listen, that on any other card, if you had that fight on
any other way, I would be a black belt. Just right. It's a grappling wet dream.
And that's the thing. I mean, Lieben's out of retirement. Lieben was badass. I mean, Lieben's former UFC star. He's a WBC middleweight champ. And then you got the UFC Pride and Dream Bellator veteran.
Yep.
I mean, that's a main event by itself.
Sure is. But that's a pick 'em.
Awesome.
That's a legit pick 'em for anybody wondering. So you're talking about two guys putting a little bit of tape on the outside of their hands and just going in there and just dropping bombs. Can't believe I have to wait all night to get to that crap.
You know what? We got to milk it. Those are going to be towards the end of the night. You can't give all that stuff out in the beginning. You got to wait. But here's the thing.
I'm the guy who grabs the big box.
Awesome.
I'm the guy who grabs the big box under the tree. That's just me.
I know.
That is
you want to go big first, and then whatever. Everything else can just figure itself out.
And then in your main event, Irish Brendan Ward takes on Johnny Big Rig Hendricks. All right,
you got it.
Explain to me again, Johnny Hendricks, a two-threat killer in two different disciplines. Tell me about Irish Brendan Ward, who just looks like a brick shit house waiting to destroy something.
And you know why he looks that way? Because he is. I mean, he's a veteran Bellator contender. I mean, he's well known in the MMA world. And then you got a former UFC welterweight champ. This guy didn't just fight in the welterweight division. This guy was the man. He had the belt. I think that's caught some major buzz. I mean, those two guys, I mean, you're familiar with the world. I mean, when you saw that, did you go, oh my gosh?
Yeah, I sure did. I don't know which one I'm actually excited for when I was reviewing these fights. So I know you listening, whoever's listening, doesn't care the history of how I got here. But the people who told me to get involved with you, I did my homework and I was looking at the fights and I'm going, where would I actually? Personally, because I like a car crash, I think on paper the Sean Merriman thing is just ideal to my flavor of watching, because this is car wreck fighting. This is what it is. You're basically sending two guys in at high speed to go at each other. I'm sure that for the first round or two, it's going to look something kind of like boxing, and then it's a glorified 5-car pileup, and that's the beauty of this sport.
That is the beauty of the sport.
If you can't shy away from it, and anybody who goes, "Oh, this is a scientific thing," you're full of crap. This is who's tougher than the other person. That's all this is.
This is definitely, not a, the MMA and, everything else is they got their moves planned out and this and that. You're right. After a couple of rounds of feeling each other out, if it's into the third round already, it's just going to be a flat out bang, bang, bang. Whoever's going to catch someone in the face one time, and it's going to be over. But it's going to be, it's going to be haymaker central, because you get tired. And, it's bare knuckle. I mean, those, if you land something on your face, it's going to hurt. I don't care if it's a glancing blow or a square hit, it's going to hurt.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. I'm excited to no end to see these fights. That's live on pay-per-view. All you got to do is go to WBKFF.com. Pay-per-view, tickets start at $10, midway down on the page. Check out all of our episodes leading up to this fight card. Next week we'll have the prelims for you. We'll have a regular show. I'll interview all of these fighters leading up to the fight, so you have insight. So I think it's the story that makes the fight. I'm really interested to know what's going on in the heads of these people. I'm waiting for you to tell me you've signed Fedor, because I figure I need you to sign Fedor, because I think he's perfect for this. Oh my God, I think he's perfect for this.
He may be perfect for this, and I am not here to discuss whether I have or have not talked to him. However, there is, for the second pay-per-view, not to get ahead of myself, but there are surprises on the way. I will say that.
I will give you guys. Am I allowed to drop the president's name / who's commentating on the fight name, just so we know what's going
on?
Boss Rutan. How do you guys not have Boss Rutan everywhere and on everything? I think that's one of the biggest surprises about what's coming up and what's behind the WBKFF. I'm really excited to have the boss there to, first of all, do color on the fights itself, but to have him there tells you the quality of what's going on to the organization. God, that sounds like ass kissing. God, I'm so gross.
And listen, you got
huge boss guy.
You got Boss Rutan. It's crazy.
Oof. I'm a boss fan.
It's going to be great.
Can we get him to fight?
You know what? I would not put anything past Boss Rutan. However, he's got a presidency role he's doing right now, and we're going to go one step at a time. And if I was smart and if I was boss, I'd probably stay out of it. I mean, not that he can't fight, but he's been such a success. He's a UFC legend. I mean, to have him a part of our organization is we're beyond thrilled. We're beyond thrilled.
WBKFF, get tickets, get signed up for the pay-per-view, check out all these episodes as we lead up, and sign up. WBKFF podcast.com. I said that really fast. And we will see you. We got more information to pass along to you guys next week. The undercard, interviews with the fighters. So sign up on either Google Play, iTunes. We're out there and available for you. Thanks.